Hey gorgeous, it's Ker-leen. Thank you for tuning back into my channel. In today's video, I will be doing a super quick maceration update on 5 more of my Arabian fragrances. If that's something that you're interested in, then please keep watching. Hey friend, welcome back for another one. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come and hang out with me. Before we jump in, I want to acknowledge those of you who are new here. Thank you so much for clicking on that thumbnail. On this channel, I talk luxury, I do review videos, I share my fragrance journey, and I also sprinkle in a little bit of lifestyle. So if any of those things sound good to you, then I think you will love it here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and also be sure to turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. I will be reaching for these fragrances in no particular order. The first one I have here is December Vanilla. This is by Paris Corner. I want to say I purchased this one in the winter and it's been sitting ever since. So let's spray it and talk. So to my nose, December Vanilla has gotten more spicy. It's smelling a little bit stronger, and I'm really picking up those spicy notes that are in this fragrance. This fragrance smells so good, y'all. It's so good. This is the perfect date night scent. I would classify this as a black tie type of fragrance. Definitely a special occasion type of scent. It's unisex, so anyone can enjoy this fragrance, and it is so good. Yeah, so I'm picking up on those spicy notes. The leather accord is coming through a little bit more than it did back when I first got this fragrance. So overall, this fragrance has more body, more depth. It's more bold, it's stronger. The spicy notes and the leather accord are coming through now than when I first picked this up. So y'all, the way that I describe December Vanilla is a creme brulee dessert with a crusted top. This creme brulee has rum in the mix. So there's rum in that custard, and it's torched just like your regular creme brulee. This one has been sprinkled with brown sugar just before they torched it, and then they sprinkled it with some sort of spice on top. So it's vanillic, it's creamy, it's rum infused, it's sugary sweet. It's a delight. It is such a delight. But this doesn't go too far into the gourmand territory. This is still very perfumey, yet it's absolutely delectable smelling. I love this fragrance. The next one I wanted to talk about is one that I featured time and time again, and I love this fragrance. It's so pretty. It is Mystique Bouquet by Afnan. To my nose, months after I purchased it, this fragrance smells a little bit sweeter. And I'm also picking up a little bit more of that vetiver note. The vetiver was not something that I noticed in the beginning, but I feel like I'm picking up that vetiver. I feel like that's what I'm picking up. It smells a touch more earthy than previously, and it also smells sweeter. It's also giving a little bit of those aldehydic vibes that Valaya gives. Now, there are no aldehydes listed in the fragrance notes for this one, but I feel like the essence and the vibe, those aldehydic vibes that Valaya gives, I'm starting to pick up in this fragrance. I believe this is a dupe for Valaya, and I've done a video talking all about this fragrance and the similarities, so please do watch that video. But y'all, this got sweeter, a little bit more aldehydic. I'm starting to pick up on a more airy aldehydic vibe, and it is a little bit more earthy. Now, in the dry down of this fragrance, there is ambroxan and there is oak moss, so that might be what I'm starting to pick up on more. So those may be the notes that are adding more of that aldehydic touch. That may be where that's coming from, but this is definitely sweeter. It's brighter, more airy. Yes, so the dry down starts to happen a little bit more quickly, and this also smells better blended. I feel like the notes are marrying together a little bit better. They're coming together and telling even more of a story for this fragrance. Yeah, in my opinion, this has gotten better with time. Definitely gotten better with time. The next fragrance is Kissa Delicious by Paris Corner. Kissa Delicious is one that I've been waiting to come back to, and I've recently come back to it, and I do think it has developed. Kissa Delicious is your chocolate mousse dessert. So a very whipped fluffy chocolate mousse. And this fragrance does have marshmallow in the breakdown, so that might be where the fluffiness is coming from. But to my nose, it's a milk chocolate fluffy whipped mousse, and it's whipped with lots of air in it, so this never feels very dense or cloying in my opinion. And then it's almost as if they grated some orange rind, some orange zest on top of that dessert, or there is an orange rind sitting next to the dessert, is topped with some sort of whipped cream, and there is a hint of nuttiness in here, almost as if there's an almond note in here or a walnut, like those types of nuts. Either it's in the mix or sprinkled on top as well. So this is such a nice gourmand fragrance, because if you don't like anything cloying or overly dense, this is a fragrance to check out. If you're looking for a gourmand that you can possibly wear in the summertime, I would highly recommend this one. This is very, very nice. So to my nose, I feel like this has changed a little bit. It's gotten more nutty and the chocolate is coming through even more. I think I've had this for a few months now. I will link the video where I first talked about this for y'all. But a few months later, this has gotten more chocolatey, and it's also gotten a little bit more nutty to my nose. In the beginning, I was getting a lot of alcohol when I first sprayed this out. That has resolved itself. I don't really get tons of alcohol at first spray. Now I'm getting those notes right away. However, I think this has to sit a little bit more. I feel like in the fall and winter, this is going to develop into an even more delectable chocolatey dessert type of smell, but I don't feel like this is going to get overly heavy ever. I just feel like it needs a little bit more time to really give that chocolatey goodness that it's supposed to give. But right now, this is something I could wear in the summertime and not feel like it's too heavy. I can pair it with other fragrances like I've done recently and enjoy it in combination with something a bit brighter, a bit lighter, softer, maybe powdery. So yeah, I'm loving Kissa Delicious. I have high hopes for this one. I will be back with another update on its maceration towards the fall season, so stay tuned for that. This may pop up in some other videos though in the time between, because I really like this one. This next fragrance is one that when I first got it, I was obsessed. I was shocked at how good this fragrance is and how affordable it is. And that fragrance is Amber Rhythm by Afnan. I think this is a part of their Edict line of fragrances. And y'all, this is giving Baccarat Rouge 540 vibes mixed with Lattafa's Khamra. Those are the vibes for this fragrance. If you enjoy those two fragrances, chances are you will enjoy this one. This smells expensive and it is beautiful. Now, months later, I have noticed a very significant difference with this fragrance, and I mean many months later. I purchased this, I think, very early this year or last year. So this one has had a lot of time to macerate, and I've noticed one significant difference. This is beast mode, y'all. This is beast mode. It's probably going to be on my clothes and in the air for hours. Y'all, this fragrance is a hidden gem. I was introduced to this fragrance by Kiki over at My Fragrance Trail, and she told no lies. She talked about how it shares similarities with BR 540 and Khamra, those types of scents, and she told no lies. This fragrance is amazing. I'm still getting those very sweet and airy vibes from this fragrance. There's a creaminess to this fragrance and a subtle gourmand aspect, although this is not a gourmand. This is a very perfumey perfume. It's been several months since I've worn this one, and something else I noticed that wasn't what I was originally going to share is that the cinnamon note is more prominent in this one. So this opens up with a cinnamon and an amber and a tonka bean, and I feel like the cinnamon I'm picking up a little bit more than I have previously. In addition, this has vanilla and saffron at the mid, and the big update I was going to share is that the saffron is more pronounced the longer this fragrance sits. So I feel like the saffron is really coming through, and if you don't enjoy saffron, that may be a con for you with regard to this fragrance. So upon maceration for this one, the cinnamon and the saffron are the two notes that are more prominent. The saffron coming through the most. So this is very saffron heavy several months down the line. I'm still getting the sweetness, still getting that creaminess, and still getting the airy vibe, but that saffron is a little bit more intense. The saffron is so strong, it's coming across a little metallic to my nose. So that metallic edge is not bothersome at all to me right now, but I will check back in the fall and winter to let you all know how this smells then. I do feel like it is because of that saffron that is more prominent, and that's why it's giving off a tinge of a metallic vibe. So we'll see how this plays on my skin and on my clothes in the fall and winter, but as of right now, the cinnamon is more prominent and the saffron is super duper prominent after this is sat for months. And the last fragrance is one of my favorite fragrances for this time of year, the summertime, when it's super hot. You want to feel refreshed. You want to feel like you smell good hours later. Where I live, it is super duper humid, so you can literally be standing still and you will sweat. So I love fragrances like these because they project for a long time and they have me smelling super duper clean, fresh. This one in particular gives off those candy-like, really juicy vibes, and that's what I'm looking for. This one is Lattafa's Baad Suim, and this is one of my favorite fruity juicy fragrances in my Arabian collection. I love this one. It's so good. This one is a grown-up version of Kayali's Eden Juicy Apple. I feel like it's an older sister in my opinion. They have been compared, but I don't think this is exactly the same. I think this is inspired by that fragrance, but this one would be an older sister in my opinion. So this one has a touch of an Arabian vibe the longer I've had this. So good. Oh, this is so good. I feel like going to get a glass of juice when I smell this fragrance. It's so yummy. So I've had this for quite some time, and several months later, to me, this smells more apple rich. So the apple is more prominent in this fragrance. Oh my goodness, this fragrance is so good. It also smells a little bit more candy-like to my nose. It smells a little bit more playful to my nose, a little less earthy. In the beginning, it was a little more earthy, a little less candy-like, and I definitely wasn't picking up the apple as much as I'm picking it up right now, and I quite enjoy what I am smelling. But it is still an older sister as compared to Eden Juicy Apple. I also feel like this fragrance has a little bit more of an Arabian essence and vibe to it. You can tell it's an Arabian fragrance. So this one doesn't change too much, but it does change for the better. You will be pleasantly surprised months and months down the line after purchasing this one. So this one has been sitting for over 4 months for sure. I don't quite remember when I picked this up, but it's definitely been 4 or 5 months, maybe more. This is so good. This is one that is apple forward. There's a lychee in here. It has a little tang to it, a little tartness, super juicy, kind of makes your mouth water when you spray it on. And I love that it has a moss at the base. I feel like it adds a sophistication to this fragrance. And overall, this is a great summer pickup. This is super affordable. You get a ton of fragrance and it smells stronger, more potent. It's more apple forward, and I'm getting more candy vibes from it now for sure. All right, friend, thank you so much for watching up to this point in the video. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for still being here. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like on your way out, as that does help my channel grow. And if you are here and you're not subscribed, but you love fragrance content, I make quite a bit of it here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another video. Before we part ways today, I just want to encourage you that if you have been feeling overlooked, if you've been feeling unseen and unheard lately, know that God sees you, God hears you, you are seen and you are loved by Him, and that is something that He's reminded me of lately. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed and bogged down, and I will literally be going through the day doing my normal things, and I'll look up and there's a reminder of how much I'm loved by Christ, how much I am seen, and how much I'm heard. So I wanted to remind you today that you are seen, you are heard, and you are loved, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I will be over here reflecting on the exact same thing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye.